This is Tin Pod Radio. I'm Rick Shea from Famous Faces and Funnies, comic and toy store in Melbourne, Florida.
Welcome to the latest episode of Brain Leakage. We haven't did one of these in a while. I had to do a couple things and I'll get that right out of the way. I've been looking for a co-host for a while and I haven't been able to find one yet. A couple people fell through and stuff, but I still enjoy doing this show and people like it. So I've had a number of people say, like, just do it on your own for a while. You talk about Doctor Who pretty good. So what the hell, let's do it. I love talking about Doctor Who. For new people here, usually what I'm doing is going through Doctor Who in chronological order from the beginning, and I'm still on the early stages of the first Doctor because we've had a lot of interruptions between hurricanes, number of hurricanes, and other stuff. We've had things interrupt the series as it went on. Many restarts like I talked about because I thought I was going to restart with new people, but they didn't work out for whatever reason. No hard feelings or anything. But this episode I'm going to jump right into the new series that just premiered the other night, and the first episode of a new Doctor Who era with Jodie Whittaker playing the 13th Doctor and the woman who fell to Earth. Now, to start this out with, I want to say I really enjoy most First Doctor stories, with the caveat that I also understand going in that they're not always the greatest story in a lot of ways, because the purpose of it is like any first episode of any show or first chapter of any book, you're introducing a lot of stuff, so it sometimes they're not as organic as they should be. I thought this episode they did a good job of building it, similar they did with Matt Smith's first episode when they made it as theatrical as you could. Plus it had elements of what I think is the best first story of any Doctor, which is the Spearhead from Space, which is the John Pertwee era's first story. But those had multiple episodes, like long episode stories, so I think they had a chance to build more with this. But The Woman Who Fell to Earth was really good. It introduced all the characters very well. It made you care about them right away. You liked them. And the villain was generic enough. I think like it would have been overwhelming if you'd had too good of a villain in this first episode. So I don't know if that's one of those things that writers purposely do, but I think it works that you have a more subdued villain, more plain almost in a way, but with a clear agenda to go through. And like I said, this episode, like with the first episodes always do, you always have these moments where it shows the Doctor's intelligence, it shows the Doctor's quirkiness, it shows the Doctor's passion, it shows the Doctor's kindness, and all these things help when you have kind of a generic villain. Generic villain aside, which like I said I think is needed in these type of episodes, the supporting cast, I mean, I enjoyed all of them in the first episode. I thought it was very good, and it made you care about them and their peril and their pain. You made you care about them right away. I think it's a good cast. Never been a fan of huge TARDIS crews. I think over 2 is usually too much. I mean, I grew up in the 5th Doctor era when I loved all the TARDIS members, but they were way too many. So, like, I don't know if it's going to be a permanent thing or having this many cast members traveling with her, but I think it'll work and be good with Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. I like that they didn't really dwell on huge amounts of stuff with her character being female now. Just little things. And I think it was very way the Doctor would react. Oh, I'm a woman now. I don't think the Doctor would react really hugely about it. Now maybe if he was ginger he would react really hugely about it. But yeah, I think it was really good and done very well, and all those things you needed for the setup. Now the story itself, I thought, like I said, I think it set up, it had very clever things, had some little interesting tidbits in there. I have heard that they're not going to really do many old classic characters in this season. I think that could be them just saying that so they can have some surprises, though the BBC tends to spoil all surprises when it comes to Doctor Who right away. But if they did decide not to have like a lot of old characters popping up, old villains, old locations, I think that would be good too. Let it establish its own self and establish its own feet as it goes. And maybe if you do, you would just do it maybe once, like to pop up really quickly. The new companions, Bradley Walsh as Grandma O'Brien, good. Tasha Cole as Ryan Sinclair, I like. Sorry if I butcher anybody's these names, but Mandip Gill as Jasmine Khan. I thought all the people who they put together in this, I think is working out very well, and maybe it's a callback to the first Doctor, and that how you had several people in it, and it was more of a family right away. Which shows, like, even though there was times when they had too many people right on early on, I think for the most part they actually did a very good job. So I think people think that there's too many people in the TARDIS, maybe they need to study that. But having that many characters can be a pain in the butt. As a hack writer myself, like, I do not like large casts of characters at all. It's just a pain in the butt sometimes. Especially if you fall in love with one character and then the other ones suffer badly. You can almost see that the authors fall in love with those characters. So I think this was a great start to the beginning of the new era of Doctor Who. I know it looks like the numbers are going to be pretty good for this episode, which is great. I know some people say like it's the shortest season they've done. Doctor Who's always been like kind of under fire from the BBC, wanting to cut money, wanting to cut this, that, no matter what kind of success it has. With Chris, again, sorry, mispronounced, Chris Chibnall, I know some people have problems with his writing, and they feel it's going to be like Stephen Moffat, where maybe him being in control of the whole series might be a problem, where he was great doing his own stuff. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I like the new logo. Didn't really get an opening sequence, so I guess we'll have to see that later. Scores seem to be a little bit adjusted there at the end. So I don't have any problems with any of the changes. Just the same way when the Doctor Who started back again. I went into it with the mindset of there's parts of this I'm not going to like. For the most part, I loved most of it, but there was some little bits I didn't like. If you go in with the mindset of like, there's going to be stuff I'm not going to like, but I'm looking to enjoy the stuff I enjoy, then you can be fine with the stuff you don't like. But if you go in thinking, I'm not going to like any of this, then you're not going to like it. That's just the way it's going to be. And a lot of people's fandom is hating stuff. And that's not even counting the sexist piece of shit people who go after stuff just because it has a female cast or has a female writer or has anything like that. So like, I want to maybe do these in like episodes as they come out, because I did do the season pass on Hulu, so hopefully that I can watch them as they come out, which I haven't done in years, because we haven't had cable in probably like, God, what's it been, 10 years or something like that? I don't know. But we'll see. It looks like the critical scores have been pretty good on it. It looks like ratings have been pretty good. Hopefully, like, the more episodes will get more of a roll, get more going. I've always said, new Doctor, new companions. The first season is not necessarily going to be the best season in the world. That second season is the one where they have to make their mark, or you really don't know. And then if it goes on long enough, like, I thought Matt Smith really hit it off quickly. I thought the later ones, mainly because Stephen Moffat got too into his own web of writing, that it actually suffered more towards the end, where David Tennant's, I think, was pretty good from the beginning to the end. And I mean, you can't really count Exxon because it was only one season, so they basically threw all these mini movies at them, and that's all we got for that. But I highly recommend people check it out. I think it's going to be a really great Doctor. Love that costume from the beginning. Really want to cosplay that costume. So I guess I'll see everybody later for the next episode of Brain Leakage. And if you're local to me, October 21st, Tin Universe will have its first tabling appearance at a comic convention, and we're gonna have prints of all the artwork, like for the artwork for Brain Leakage and other stuff. And you can come by and talk podcast, come by and talk Doctor Who. We're gonna have a special guest, a really good cosplayer, and her information is gonna be down in the doobly-doo with this episode. And all the information on the convention, October 21st, Melbourne Toy and Comic Con. Come by and say hi, buy prints, buy ebooks, buy prints from the great cosplayer. It's going to be our have your picture taken with Naruto, because she's going to be cosplaying Naruto, and she's one of the best Naruto cosplayers I've ever seen. So you need to stop by, and it'll be a great event overall. Lots of toys, lots of comics, lots of local artists, and local great cool people. So I'll see everybody later.
Flagship show of Tin Pod Radio. Tin Pod is a monthly audiobook chapter series punctuated with exclusive artist interviews between chapters. Join us in the Tin universe for novels, flash fiction, and microfiction from one crazed mind.
Oh, I've been waiting in the airport bar for hours. Yeah, I've been wondering if they're gonna make me drink all day. Last call calling on a non-stop back to the heartland. They're calling on your getaway. Trying to slide by on Kodachrome kisses and headlines. Did I tell you that I wish you were here? Invisible man, catch me stumbling out of the underground. I just want to disappear. London is calling. Everybody come run. Come see what drinking the devil have done. Somebody's falling to make you give up your guns, and I might not reach you in time. Midnight rider on the Jubilee down to the High Street. Oh, Britannia, show you how to rise and fall. Oh, I remember the 4th of July upon Hampstead Heath alone. Ain't no rockets, red glare. Don't you know that nobody cares about another lost ugly American in this town? Oh, London is calling. Everybody cut and run. Come see what drinking the devil have done. And somebody's falling. Did it make you give up your guns? And I might not reach you in time. And from the corner of the Marble Arch back home to the rolling fields, a soapbox preacher's reaching out. And you've been lonely and you've been lost, oh I know it's true. But every American girl thinks she's run out of time. London is calling, calling, calling. Ooh, calling, calling. Ooh, calling, calling. London is calling. Everybody cut and run. Come see what drinking